parents were very, very inspired and very educated by the wonderful forum that you both put on Friday. So Tisha, we'll start with you. You were talking a lot about, the fact that when you're applying to college, it is a process, and specifically for athletes, when you go through that, there's a couple layers and a couple activities that you want to kind of emphasize if you're planning to be a collegiate athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell people to have a conversation first off with themselves as an athlete, then have that conversation with their family, making sure everybody's on the same page, because this process is hard, and so having everybody on the same page and supporting one another is really big. And then after that, we really talk about why is it that we want to play at the next level, registering with the NCAA, getting a good base with that, and then starting to really narrow down who you want to reach out to, really putting in research, and then finally communicating with those schools.
Okay, and this is different, Jess, for prospective collegiate athletes than say someone who already knows they're going to be a chemistry major or a linguistics major or future physicist and everything like that. For athletes, the process is a little different.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. I mean, you got to think about if the school offers what you want and academically, athletically, all that good stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, mentally, it's all pretty much the same. So we have, we talk about confidence, resilience, dealing with adversity. That's a big thing. And no matter what you go to school for or what you play, you're going to deal with all those things as a human. So it was cool for us to get to talk about things that they can use in sports, but also just use as people.
And you also talked about some of the more modern concepts like NIL, which I know some kids are looking into. How have you seen that in the States shape up where kids could say okay, this is great. I could actually, if I don't qualify for either a full scholarship or any scholarship at all, there are opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever we were growing up, that wasn't a possibility at all. And so it's really cool because now student athletes can create a business. So a lot of the girls that I've worked with, the girls I've worked with in the past have started to give lessons. So they're kind of making a little business out of it. And so that gives them that opportunity to really start to expand and figure out what it is that they want to do as they continue to grow.
Okay, and the final question, Jess. It's also because we're here on an island, and even though with the internet and social media, the world's a lot smaller, there still are a lot of us, and parents included, and kids who think that college in the States is just USC and LSU and Ohio State and Florida and everything. I mean, there's so many specialized schools, D3 programs, NIA as you were talking about. So you really broaden the knowledge of what's out there.
Yeah, there are a ton of options. I know where we are from in North Carolina, there are so many schools, and we're actually really blessed with that. From North Carolina and South Carolina in general, there's, oh my gosh, you wouldn't even have to go a couple hours from where we live to have 30 different options. So there's a lot of choices out there. And I know I've worked with kids that they think they want to go one place and they have their heart set on one place because it's something that sticks out in their mind, it's one of the bigger schools. And then they start to do some research, they go tour some different places, and then they fall in love with places that they didn't even know existed. So research is invaluable when it comes to that. You got to check things out.